The Shepnaz podcast begins now.
You're listening to the Shepnaz podcast, a podcast by Shepherd Church. Everything we do at Shepherd is to connect our community in a meaningful relationship with Christ, and we're expecting great things. My name is Joey. I'll be your host, and today we're going to continue our 21 Days of Prayer and Fasting focus as we look at chapter 12 of Rob McCorkle's book, Life and Death, The Power of Words. Josh Aleshire is here to shed some light on it, and then after that, we'll talk to Josh about what's happening in his life and what God has for him and his family here at Shepherd. Hey Josh, thanks for being here today, man. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me, Joey.
Good. You're in the we're going to talk about this, but you're in the midst of a nice little break from work because we're just getting you back into using some cognitive stuff instead of just diapers and
it's a lot of diapers and wipes right now.
Yeah.
Just had our first kid in November.
So we're just kind of helping you kind of challenge your mind a little bit before you go back to work. So,
yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to look, we've been looking at over the last couple of weeks, Rob McCorkle's book called Life and Death, The Power of Words. We've challenged our congregation to kind of read through that with us as we are in this 21 days of prayer and fasting as sort of a devotional guide. Today we're going to talk about the chapter called Argumentative Spirit. Josh, would you help kind of summarize what Rob's talking about in here?
Sure. Yeah. So it's really about how we talk to others and, the right ways to disagree maybe is maybe a good way to put it. I picked out some lines from the book. These are not my words. These are his words.
Okay.
That I felt summarized the whole chapter. So believers should be quick to listen and slow to speak. And then also we don't have to have the last word even if we're right. And then it is better to be righteous than to be right. So I felt like those lines were kind of the quick summary of the entire chapter.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever just like known somebody that just loved to argue and loved to kind of get that last word in. Sometimes it might be you, and I'm saying that as myself.
Sure.
I just maybe not necessarily that I like to be right, but I think I'm right.
Yeah.
A lot.
I was going to say, I think sometimes I struggle with, having the last word if you know you're right. It's like you want people to know truth and you're like, this is right. So you got to hear what I'm saying. I know I'm right. And so then it can become argumentative based on how you're having that conversation with people.
And maybe the problem isn't that it's about what's right, but it becomes more about you.
Sure.
Or me. When I say you, I don't mean you.
Yeah.
Josh.
No, you're good.
It becomes more about me having to be right than actually the right thing. So what's something in this chapter that as you study, as you read, as kind of God kind of worked through you with it, that maybe challenged you as an individual or maybe stuck out to you?
So I have here, I took some notes. Rob McCorkle references Titus 3:9, which says, but avoid foolish controversies because, and in his translation that he used, says they are unprofitable and useless. And that really stuck out to me, and I started kind of reading some other translations, and other translations say, but they're worthless, but it only does harm, but it gets you nowhere. And so that kind of really stuck out to me. If you're arguing over something that really at the end of the day doesn't matter, you're really just wasting your time, your energy, and your resources because it's foolishness and it's getting you nowhere.
Right. That's good. What's a practical next step maybe that you're taking or that those who are hearing this could take to kind of move away from that argumentative spirit in their everyday life? What's something that maybe they could one thing they could do?
So I really focused when I was thinking about that on social media because I feel like people are very argumentative because they're behind a keyboard.
Sure.
There's plenty of people that are argumentative face to face, but once you take out that face to face contact, and now I can just in my mind say whatever I want, it can become extremely argumentative very quickly. And so I was trying to kind of apply some of this to that aspect of social media. Like when I'm posting or if I'm interacting with someone online, am I doing it the same way that I would face to face? And am I being argumentative? Basically, back to the scripture I was referencing, in something that's foolish,
right?
Does this conversation even matter? And if not, why am I spending the time to have this argument that is foolish?
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, thanks, Josh, for helping us out in that. Guys, everybody stick around. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk with Josh, get to hear part of his story and what God's doing in his life, so don't go anywhere. As we conclude our 21 days of prayer and fasting in January of 2023, we want to invite you and your family to a praise and worship night on January 29th at 5 p.m. There, we will sing, we will pray, and we will thank God for all that He has done. And as we anticipate what He is going to do, we'll seek Him. So don't miss it on January 29th, 5 p.m. right here at Shepherd. If you haven't taken the step of baptism in your life yet, we want to invite you that on February 5th, you could take that step. Baptism is a moment in which you're able to say that Jesus has changed my heart on the inside and I want to proclaim it to the world. If you'd like to sign up for baptism, you can do so by filling out the Connect card, letting us know that, or you can go to our website and on the right-hand side under Contact Us, you can click the link that says, I want to be baptized. Pastor will reach out to you and we will get that scheduled. All right, Josh, thanks for being here once again. Thanks for not running out on us in that break. Let's talk about maybe if you want to kind of give us introduction of your family, like what's going on in your life, lots of new things and fun things have happened for you, and then also kind of how that kind of relates to kind of what God has for you here at Shepherd, like what you get to be a part of.
Sure. So I've been here at Shepherd, I think we're right around the 10-year mark. I'm married to my wife, Lauren. We both met at Mount Vernon Nazarene University when we were there, and we've been married just over 5 years, and back in November, we had our first son born. His name's Calvin. Mm-hmm. So we have both been on leave for that and have been getting just to spend a lot of time with him and figuring out this early stages of parenthood. Yeah. So it's good stuff. Lots of changes. Like you said earlier, lots of diapers, lots of wipes. Yeah. So, but it's been great. It's been good.
And what do you get to be a part of here at Shepherd?
So here at Shepherd, I'm heavily involved in the tech ministry. My full-time job outside of the church is a network engineer, and that is also what my degree was in. Okay. And so what's been really cool is to kind of take that knowledge and that experience and then apply it to ministry. And I think it's an area where a lot of people, have historically not really looked at as ministry, just because it's new and it's different. And there's a growing number of people that get it and understand it. But at the same time, because it's so new, there's a lot of people that don't really know or it's tech stuff. I don't do tech stuff. But from a tech perspective, we do a lot of stuff with the screens, the lighting, the sound. We even get into like the website, media, all that kind of stuff. And then beyond, what we see on Sunday mornings, I'm also involved with the network team here, the IT team here that handles the network for the school, the daycare, the church, and helps provide the tools needed for the organization to operate.
Awesome. Well, it's been great having you, man. I know what it's like to have a new baby and do all that. So
yeah, you've got one coming soon, right?
Real soon. But hoping that as you kind of get back to work that you are still able to do the things that you want to do, family. So we'll be praying for you, man.
Thank you.
But that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Shepnaz podcast. If you're listening, be sure to subscribe wherever you get your audio. You don't want to miss an episode. We've got great things coming. You can always learn more about what's happening here through our app, through our social media pages, and of course at shepnaz.org. For Josh, I'm Joey. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.